Here's the truth about you. You are strong. You are powerful. You are enough. And you're not alone. In fact, that's true for each of us. But if that's so, why don't we feel this way all the time? Why do we still have ups and downs, feeling really good one day and crying our eyes out the next? Why do we read dozens, if not hundreds, of self-help books and attend numerous seminars and yet still feel unhappy and unfulfilled? We try one job after another, one romance after another, even one religion after another, and yet we still often don't know our life's purpose, or why our happy often feels so far away. I've been there and felt the same, and what I've learned about real happiness is the reason this book has come to life. You can repeat affirmations all day long or walk on hot coals, but you will not live your happy until you understand the way your mind works and recognize your own divinity. I'm not saying this lightly, and I'm not saying that getting there will be easy, but you can do it. And if you're reading this book, the time has come to get started. We're in this together. As you wake up to your truth, I wake up to mine. And I will share with you spiritual tools that really work, but you must put them to use. If you do, you will be helping everyone live the happiness they deserve. Where am I coming from? Before I became a minister and teacher of A Course in Miracles, I was an actress, a model, and a TV host. I was in magazines, runway shows, TV shows, and national commercials. I was the first Latina boxing announcer. I can still hear myself announcing. In the red corner from Monchis, Mexico, weighing 139.5 pounds, Humberto Soto. And in the blue corner from Guadalajara, Mexico, weighing 140 pounds, Jorge Solis. Later, working for the world-famous WWF, now the WWE, or World Wrestling Entertainment. I interviewed competitors live in front of audiences of 20,000 people. That might sound really exciting to you. In fact, it was horrifying. I remember walking down the ramp toward the ring, feeling so scared, my heart pounding like it was going to come out of my chest. All I could think was, can I do this? Am I good enough? Will the people like me? Will I get the contract to host the rest of the shows? At least I had an amazingly romantic French boyfriend. He was a sweetheart and very thoughtful. When I was featured in People en Español, he bought me all the copies he could find, and he surprised me with them at the airport when I came home. Yet, no matter what this guy did, I always felt unworthy of his love, and I was fixated on the worry that he would cheat on me. I had a great career, a wonderful boyfriend, a nice apartment near the beach in Miami, and I was miserable. I was reading all the self-help books I could lay my hands on, going to workshops and declaring affirmations, and none of it made me happy. In other words, I was a hot mess back in the day. I did not know any better. But now I know that we always do the best we can with the awareness we have at that moment. When I was in my 20s, I longed to be loved, loved by everyone, loved by the whole world. What I didn't know was that I was really searching for the love of God, and that I already had that love within me. I could not bring happiness into my experience because I was in a trance, living like a puppet run by my ego. It was my ego that told me I would be happy when I booked that commercial, won that Oscar, or got married and had kids. All my unsolvable problems determined my reality, and every problem was a big deal. The harder I looked for love, the farther away from me it seemed to be. In 1995, I came across Marianne Williamson's book, A Return to Love. At that time, I was going through a major depression, and her words were very comforting. But what affected me most were the quotes from another book called A Course in Miracles. I had never heard of that strange blue book before, and it would be 6 years before I actually began to study it. While browsing the bookstore of the Unity on the Bay Church in Miami, I heard an announcement that an introductory class on A Course in Miracles was beginning in the next room. I was intrigued, so I went. I wasn't quite prepared for what the teacher said. We are wholly responsible for our experiences. We're not victims of anyone or anything. Only love is real and all else is an illusion. I'll admit that I was shocked. I'm responsible for everything I see, and I'm not a victim of the world? I just wasn't ready to buy that. The teacher went to say that the course focused on true forgiveness.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.